Hey everyone, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour. I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
And we are here with the Golden Bachelor himself. It's been a while. Gerry Turner, welcome to Bachelor Happy Hour.
But thank you so much for having me. This is kind of an exciting morning for me.
Yeah, how you doing? What's new?
I'm, I'm doing great. Life is actually pretty good. I've gotten through the doldrums of winter. I'm starting to look out on the lake now, and it looks sunny. And I just count the days down now until it gets nice and warm.
Yeah, where are you? You're in Indiana?
Right, northern Indiana.
And how is it? Yeah, I'm assuming it's cold. It's cold there right
It
now.
it was 32 this morning when I got up. So yeah, it was cold as heck. But by the weekend it's supposed to be back in the 70s, and another couple of weeks the boats will start going in the water. So it'll be good.
We're creeping our way to spring.
Have you been getting any pickleball games in? Like at least indoor?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I still play Monday, Wednesday, Friday, about 3 hours each morning. I got a tournament coming up next Tuesday morning, so um, it's kind of my barometer for uh, health and well-being and so forth. There's a level of tiredness. If I get beyond that, I start wondering what if something's wrong, and if I'm short of that, I'm wondering if I'm not working hard enough. So, bat myself back and forth.
3 hours is long. I actually don't think I could play pickleball for 3 hours.
3 hours is long. That is a long time.
Yeah. The thing is, it's with the group that you guys have seen all along. The group that was at the wedding and that has been with me. So we kind of know each other's tendencies. So it makes it a little bit easier,
Hmm.
but we still play pretty hard. We try
From
to kill each
yours,
other.
from your now it's been a year since your season. Looking back, which of the women would you consider to be a really good pickleball player? Were there any?
Actually, Ellen played pretty well. But I think Faith didn't give herself a chance. She seemed fairly athletic and well coordinated and so forth. And for the little bit she played, she looked like she enjoyed it. So, that's kind of big. I think when you really like it, I think you'd get into it pretty well.
That's
Nice.
good. Yeah.
Well, let's get into AFR from Grant season because we saw that you were there at the taping. How did the night go?
Oh, that was kind of fun. Most of all, it was great to be back in the environment and see all the people and shake hands and have a chat with Jesse and talk to Clayton. I hadn't really had the opportunity to talk to Clayton before that, and see some of the old personnel. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really would have loved to have had that be a 2 or 3 day event.
How did you feel going into the panel? Was there anything specific that you wanted to say?
Well, I sort of mentally rehearsed some of the things I wanted to say beforehand. I knew kind of what the questions were going to be, and it really hits close to home for me. So I was fairly well prepared with my answer, and I felt pretty good about what I said.
What did you and Clayton chat about? Anything in particular?
Yeah, we just had
Um,
him on our podcast.
Everything from what we like to drink to how we're doing with our self-help projects to our own seasons, everything under the sun. Like I said, we hadn't talked before, so it was a blank slate.
Being there and seeing Grant and seeing some of the women kind of, you know, lean into him a little bit. How did that make you feel? Did you feel any similarities? Did you feel like you had somewhat of a similar journey or very different?
Um, yeah, a similar journey. I mean, you guys have been in the environment and you know what it does to you, and you know how all-consuming it is. And when you're there for the one reason of finding a partner, and you're so focused and you're so devoted to that, everything else gets blocked out, and you give undivided attention to each of the women that you're with at any given time. it's I could really relate to where he was at. You could see the struggle and you could see the difficulty he was having.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Um,
How is it seeing Joan and Chalk? Had you had a chance to meet Chalk before?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and it was pretty fun. Before the AFR that morning for breakfast, we were able to get together and talk, and so that was pretty nice. And then of course Clayton comes along, and it wound up being a bigger group. And then after the AFR, it was especially fun because it was Joan and Chalk and Leslie joined us. So I got to get her perspective on things and what she's got going on. So I loved it.
for someone that's been in a relationship after the show and being a lead, what would your advice be to Grant right now?
Uh, I think so. Grant's been in such a tidal wave of events and emotions and so forth. It's you're going so fast. It's like drinking out of a fire hydrant. It's time now to just slow it up and figure out how life will feel day to day. Just like even try to find the most boring days and see how well you get along with your new partner. Um, Try to imagine some of the small obstacles that you'll need to overcome as a couple and how you'll handle it and start to react to each other. So, bottom line is take it slow.
Yeah. Do you mind sharing what went wrong in your relationship with Teresa?
Well, I'm not so sure anything went wrong. Um, we've had conversations, and I think our our mutual deep devotion to our families um, kind of reared its head in conversations, and we started trying to realize or trying to find that common ground, the commonality of where we could share a life and where we could share a home and so forth. And her being a brand new grandmother and me having gone through the loss of a spouse and feeling the support of my daughters, it almost created a situation where we recognized fairly quickly that we weren't going to find that spot where we could be together. And I think more than anything, that was it. And I really feel like there was a mutual admiration and respect and empathy in both ways, that we kind of understood the other person's situation.
So, do you think if you and Teresa had been from the same place, your families were in the same place, you would potentially still be together today?
Um, okay, so that's a difficult hypothetical question.
It is.
Based on what I know and based on the experiences that we had back then, if you eliminate that huge obstacle, I can see no red flags.
Mm,
I still don't see any reason why it wouldn't have worked out. But we were also so new to the relationship that we may not have uncovered that layer of the onion that could have been a problem yet. So it's hard to answer that really.
Hmm. Yeah. What advice would you give to people that are dating long distance?
Uh, yeah, well, first off, what does long distance mean? Does it mean a couple hours drive or does it mean halfway across the country? What are you
Let's
yeah,
talking?
say
let's say we're talking different states.
across the
Okay.
country.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the best advice is to have a conversation early on about the ability to visit back and forth.
Yeah.
Um, can you afford to fly frequently, or is it going to be the drudgery of packing and driving? Um, you need to kind of uncover what the possible problems might be. I went quite some time after Teresa and I separated, and I decided my journey's not done. I really think that in a roundabout way, I want to prove that the Golden Bachelor show was still successful, that it taught me enough lessons to get me to the right spot. So I've tried to learn from my failures, which I think you learn more from your failures than your successes, you know. And so with each dating episode, I've tried to learn a little bit more about myself and about the things that you can overcome to get to a successful relationship.
What are your thoughts on Golden Bachelor in Paradise?
Um, I, I'm really curious as to how it will look. I
Us
I for
too.
one, I don't want to be a contestant there. I feel like it's not the right spot for me, but I'm intrigued by how it's going to look. Is it going to be like two parallel parties, one in one ballroom and one in another, with the golden group and the younger group, and some people out of one ballroom sneak to the other ballroom and back and forth, and I have no idea how it's going to be, but I am intrigued.
I was going to ask you, which this question, now thinking about it further, doesn't make sense. I was going to ask you, oh, well, would you go? But all of the golden women are off of your
Yeah,
season
yeah, you
because there's
couldn't
only
go.
been one
Yeah,
season
yeah.
of Golden Bachelor, so you've already dated all of them.
And not only that, but I think what I anticipate the women that are going to be there for my season, I've also developed good friendships with. I talk to Kathy and I talk to Susan and I'll talk to Faith and I'll talk to Nancy and I'll even talk to Leslie from time to time. And so if those people are there, it's kind of like trying to cultivate a romance with a friend, somebody
Yeah.
that you're friends with and somebody that you're comfortable being in that friend zone.
Hmm.
So it just wouldn't work for me.
Well,
No, yeah.
are you currently dating anyone now? Like, what's dating life been like since your and Teresa's breakup?
I I am dating someone. I think at this point it's going well, but I don't want to say too much and jinx it.
Okay.
And I'm trying to respectfully get to a point where there's an acceptable amount of time from my divorce. Maybe that's an old-fashioned thought. Maybe it doesn't matter as much as I think it does, but to be respectful, I kind of want to slow roll this, and I have told Teresa that I'm dating someone, so it won't be a shocking news to her. But mostly following my own advice that I gave you earlier: go slow, take it
Yeah.
easy, learn this person.
Have your kids had the chance to meet this person?
They have.
Okay.
And I think the fun part there is she has daughters that I really relate to, and she relates well to my daughters. So we've been around each other briefly, and but it's been fun. It's been a very enjoyable encounter.
Did you watch Joan's season at all?
Yeah, yeah.
Any other guys that you saw in Joan's season that you think would be good pairings with some of the women from your season?
Yeah, do you want to play
Oh,
matchmaker at all?
it,
Joan is all about it. Maybe
yeah.
you two
And
can come down and set some people up.
God bless her for that. I am not good at that because number one, I think you don't see enough of a person on the show to get a really good read for what their likes and dislikes and their character and all of that. So Joan has much closer contact with those guys. Um, I will say, I think there are some very available and attractive women from my season that I think would do great in a nice social mixer with those guys. That'd be fun to watch. And if that's part of Bachelor in Paradise, I'm in.
Gerry, do you think that we're going to see a crossover between the golden contestants and the regular season contestants at all?
And by crossover, you mean some
Some
sparks
friendships, maybe
flying?
some sparks, maybe some connections, maybe just, just platonic bonds.
Oh, certainly. I think there will be some really good friendships come out of that. Whether or not there's some genuine sparks, I'm not real sure because I have a lot of faith in the women that were on my show. A huge amount of faith in them. I believe in them. I think they'll be wise enough to realize that that amount of age difference could be really different or difficult, I mean.
See, like I personally, this is, and I have no idea what it's going to look like either. But
Yeah, we're all curious.
I don't really think they're going to be in the same
Mix.
location. Like I don't think they're going to be like in like the show does such a good job of just separating guys from girls when they want to when we're in paradise.
Right.
I don't think they're going to have an issue separating the golden contestants from the regular
You
contestants.
think it'll be like almost two separate villas, and then they
Two,
might intermix and mingle for like cocktail hours or rose ceremonies.
they may intermix them for like a prom night. Like
Right.
I could see like there being a few.
Or like if they do a game or something, like
Yeah,
sometimes they do like
yeah.
the truth
But like
circles.
I think they're gonna be living in separate quarters.
I think I think that's a good theory. That's kind of what I envision as well, is like the golden bachelor in paradise, the
I just don't think they could risk having a 75-year-old dude
hitting on a
hit on a
22-year-old.
I mean, either, but I think keeping them close and having it interwoven where they just brush together for a cocktail hour or
Yes.
some things like that. I think adds to the intrigue and the mystique of it, and some of the question that would keep people coming back week to week.
I
Yeah.
like
So
that too. Yeah, people are definitely curious to see if it's going to happen. I don't think it will, but I think the intrigue of could it, will it, will
yeah,
keep people engaged. But I think it'll end up being more of like friendly relationships. I mean, we even know like Susan and Rachel from Joey's season have like a great friendship.
right.
Would you make an appearance if they asked you?
I would absolutely love to do that.
Yeah.
In talking to one of the producers, I told him I didn't want to be a contestant, but I'd love to have a recurring role or a cameo role. I keep saying I'll be Wells Barback. I'll clean dishes and glasses for him while he's doing the bartending. I'll escort a date or host a date or something. I think that would be great fun. I'd love that.
They gotta have you. They gotta have bring you down to like judge like a pickleball game or something like that.
Yeah,
I could see
Yeah.
that. Speaking of pickleball that I just brought up, you're playing 3 days a week, but how is your health most importantly?
Actually, I appreciate you asking because I get that question a lot. I feel great, and as I've said, until I have any symptoms, there's no treatment. So I go frequently for blood tests. I'm on like a 6-month schedule now, and I feel optimistic because the doctor has said, well, when you turn 75, we're going to have to go 3-month increments. So it's telling me that at least he expects me to live another couple of years to get to that. But the bottom line is I feel really good.
Is that a frustrating feeling? Because I'm assuming that you have to wait until it progresses to a certain point to then accept treatment, right? Do you feel like it's like this kind of waiting period, or do you feel grateful for this time that like your health is not seriously impacted and you can continue living day to day as you usually would?
So there's good parts in there, and I'll break it down a little bit. First of all, 20% of the people who have Waldronstrom's syndrome, Waldronstrom's, whatever the hell it is, never have treatment. They outlive
Oh.
it. Something else gets them. Second of all, and I mean this sincerely, from the time I got this diagnosis, it's a privilege to live like you're dying. I I don't turn down anything. I feel like I'm more open to emotions. I'm more open to experiences. Um, the person I'm dating will say, "Do you want to go do?" And before she even gets out the rest of the sentence, I will say yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in on everything, and it makes life exciting because you kind of in the back of your head feel like you've got a lot of living to do, and you don't know how long you have to do it. so don't turn down anything. And so in a way, it's really a good thing.
Yeah, I think that's a good mindset. Is the person you're dating, is she adventurous?
She is. Yeah,
That
she wants
helps.
to go do. Her life experiences have been, a lot of travel and so forth. So that's kind of how we're approaching it.
How are your daughters doing with the diagnosis?
They're pretty good. It's not like it's talked about a lot. I think they understand the baseline of, as long as dad says he's feeling fine and not having any of those symptoms, we're just going to go on like everything's normal. So,
That's great.
Can you share with us? I know you don't want to talk too much about your relationship and keep it private, but can you share with us when you knew that it was becoming more of a serious relationship, when you were gonna like maybe essentially call each other boyfriend girlfriend?
Or when you're like, I should maybe let Teresa know about this.
so I I'll start with your question, Serena. I had a conversation with Joan, and I think Leslie was in on it, and I asked for their advice. I said, to be respectful and to do the right thing, when should I talk to Teresa about this and let her know? And their advice was to talk to her soon. So on the car ride from the hotel to the airport after the AFR the next day, I called Teresa. We had a really nice conversation, and I let her know. So
Mm.
that's that part of it. Now, Joe, for your question, I hate to tell you this, and I hate to say it because I know I'm going to get baseballs thrown at me. It was almost the first time I saw her. It was
Okay.
it was the look that she gave me. It was like all of a sudden I was consumed by this look, and I had this actual physical feeling. And I pushed it off. I go, no, that was silly. That's ridiculous. And with every encounter, that feeling has instantly come back with her look. And it's like, damn, this is pretty awesome.
Did
Aw.
you get that at all from any of the women on your season? Like this
Or have
particular
you
feeling?
experienced that in life before?
Um, I think the closest to that was when Faith played the guitar and sang to me on, I think it was the first night. She got the
Mm-hmm.
first impression rose. That would be the closest to it.
Oh, that's so romantic, Gary. I don't think anyone's going to throw baseballs at you. I think people will
I
love
don't
to
know.
hear that.
There'll
The
probably be
whole
some.
love at first sight thing, I've never been in on that. And all of a sudden here I am. I really feel like I'm experiencing that.
Wow, that's
Wow.
amazing. Congratulations. Can we ask you how you met her, or do you want to keep that private?
Well, I'll hold on to that and any more details for a while longer.
No
Again,
problem.
I'm
Do you
trying to be respectful.
do you know if Teresa's currently dating anyone?
I don't know, but she's kind of on my list to call again here in the next couple of days. I want to get an update on what her plans are with Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
are you two friendly at this point? You're on good terms?
Yeah, I don't think we were ever on bad terms. I think from my side of it, my perspective, I withdrew from her. I felt like maybe I was a source of bad feelings and the negativity that came out of the show and so forth. So I kind of avoided talking to her, and not out of ill will or being combative at all. Just I thought it was better if we gave each other space.
Yeah.
Maybe I was wrong at that, and now I intend to go a different direction with it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no perfect way to handle a breakup, and you guys were in a very unique situation.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you expect to see from her if she does go to Bachelor in Paradise?
Well, I would hope that she finds some success in finding someone.
Hmm.
Um, I think she might be a little bit of the same opinion that I am, that she's kind of been there, done that,
Hmm.
and that maybe her preference would be to not be involved in it, but maybe a cameo or something like that. But I can't speak for her. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I hope she goes. I do.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
I think
see.
it'd be fun.
So what else, Gary? Anything new you're working on right now?
uh, there's not a lot. I really enjoyed my first ever winter being away from the Midwest. I was in Mexico for a couple of months, and that was pretty awesome.
Where in Mexico?
I was in San Carlos, which is about halfway down the mainland of Mexico on the Baja, and I've got the project going with the hearing aid company with Starkey's. I'm very happy to have partnered with them, and because I feel strongly about that. And I've got a book that is really close to being done.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
What's the
we're
book? What's the
waiting.
book about?
Well, it starts with the first date I had with my wife, Tony.
Okay.
And so back in 1967, and goes forward. And most of the time, it talks about my experience, in the show.
Would you
Um,
describe it as a like an autobiography?
it's much closer to an autobiography than it is a tell-all for sure. I I have certain things that are important to me. Um, the feeling of not being invisible as you get older, the feeling of wanting and needing to have someone in your life, if that's your preference, and how to do those things, and how to put yourself in a positive mindset for those things. Taking care of your health, mentally and physically, and those things. So, just a reminder to people of my age and to any age of all the things that are important, that I think are important. So that's kind of what it is.
That's
That's
good.
great. When can we expect it to potentially come out?
Well, I think it'll be within the next 60 days. It should be good to go.
Now that it's been a little over a year since your season, and looking back on everything now, what do you think's the best thing you took away from the experience?
Um, well, a couple things come to mind. The first thing I guess I would say is that I have a much better self-awareness. Going into the show, I had no idea I was such a crybaby. um, that I would connect with people's feelings so deeply, and so knowing that, I've had to adjust my behaviors and how I approach things. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, I guess the message that I hope people would see is that if you're in your 70s, you can still have a hell of a good time. You don't write yourself off because you get to whatever age. It's like, okay, my first social security check is here. I'm done for now. Find myself a lazy boy and I'm done. It should be just the opposite. So those are the things I guess that first come to mind. But that
Do you
I
think do
had
you think you did that before do you think you were that person before going on the show?
I was getting close.
Okay.
I was kind of getting there. It's kind of, it just becomes so much easier to not get up off the couch and go do and be and get involved and so forth. It's just easier to kind of sit down, have your coffee, and call it good. And I really got revitalized through the show completely, and then I've kept that up since then. So.
That's amazing. So, what is next? We have the book coming out, your partnership with the hearing aid company, you're dating someone. What do you see kind of, if we talk to you in a year, where do you see yourself being? It can be
So I think
general or specific.
uh, if you and I talk again in a year, I think I would look back and recite all the places that I had been in this year, because not only am I personally motivated to have adventures and go travel, I think I'm going to have a partner that wants to do the same thing. And having those similar tastes will be huge. I really think in that year that I'll have some experiences related to the book where I have a tour, and and I have to go for signings and so forth. And I actually think that'll be fun. I still get recognized all the time, wherever I go, and I enjoy that. People will sometimes be apologetic or they won't approach, but everyone gets a part of the fun when they start a conversation or they want to take a picture, and I'm still happy to do that with people. So a year from now, I hope it's a whole bunch of that.
Yeah,
I,
that's
I hope I
amazing.
lament that I haven't been home much.
I like that. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Before we let you go, give us your most simplistic advice you would give to the next Golden Bachelor.
Do the best you can do to not get caught up in the moment. Don't
Okay.
let the tidal wave of activity take you up to a velocity that supersedes your ability to think clearly.
Okay. I like that.
All
I like
right.
that. That's very good. Gerry, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. We know you're a busy guy. It was so much fun chatting with you. It's been a while, so this was a nice catch up, and it was great talking to you.
Thanks. I love seeing you guys. So happy that you're doing well and you look awesome, and your relationship is flourishing. Very happy
Oh,
for you.
thank you
Thank
so
you. Thank
much.
you. And to all our listeners, thank you guys so much for tuning into Bachelor Happy Hour. Make sure you download and subscribe to the podcast.
We will have more exclusive interviews coming your way. Thanks for listening. Bye.